Alright, we're going to do just step-by-step how to install footholds. What we've got here is a set of footholds from 24/7, thanks to Chris Marrow's. Killer design. I've been using them for several years in all my skis. Really pretty simple to put in. Just make sure you have all the right tools and you'll be good to go. We're going to use obviously footholds, stainless steel screws. We have a template from Chris. We're going to use a die grinder to cut away, and basically the foam inside the cowie is a little bit different. It's a closed cell foam, so you can't really use wire brush technique that we use on the Yamahas, so you have to kind of chisel away at it, find a fit that works well with these. So let's get started. Step one, you need to remove this back plate here, which has stainless steel rivets from the factory. We put this back on. We may or may not choose to use stainless steel rivets. We may just go with stainless steel nut and bolts. A little bit easier that way, and if you want to remove it in the future, it makes it a little bit easier. All right, once you get the back plate off, then you can start pulling off the turf. What you want to do is take off everything in here, get it all out and cleaned out. Use some acetone or lacquer thinner to get the glue off the base. And we're going to rough it up a little bit for turf, but we'll do that after we get the foothold installed. With the cowie, you have a couple options. You can either choose to leave the rail caps on, or you can take them off. In this case, we're going to leave them on and turf below. So when we remove this turf, we want to try and take it off actually in one piece if we can, because it'll act as a nice template for us. And the sides usually peel off pretty good. If you take your time, get a good grip on it, you can usually peel it back in one piece. Pulling the bottom part out is the worst. The under pad from the factory sticks in pretty good. There's a bunch of different ways you can get it out. I like to just get it out as quick as possible, get it out of the way, and then use lacquer thinner, which pretty much will eat this all right off anyway. All right, so this is what it should look like when you're done. You shouldn't have any glue, or should be as clean as possible. Get it all off. All right, what we're doing is tracing out the template now that comes with the 24/7 footholds. On the cowies, we went back a little bit further, 16.5 inches from this part right here. The reason we did that is on the right side, the exhaust tube actually comes up, and if you come any closer to the 15-inch mark, you're likely to hit it. What I like to do is use a jigsaw, and I cut the blade so it's just long enough to penetrate the fiberglass without jumping out on you, but not deep enough to really get into the foam until you get in there and see where you got to be. I do this around the big edge, and then we'll use a die grinder to cut across the bottom. All right, once the cutouts are made, and you've got your fiberglass out of the way, what you want to do is use a cutting tool of some sort. I find a steak knife through this type of foam works pretty good, something to pry it out with. And you want to basically cut that out. Don't take too much at one time. You want to take enough out and then try to fit it in. What you want to do is keep taking it out, fit, take it out, fit, and you want to eventually get it to where it fits snug in there without the foam pushing it back out. Okay, next step after we get all these the foam cleared out, we're ready for fit. We drill holes in the pre-marked spots. What we're going to do is mix up epoxy, place it around the entire surface area, everywhere that mounts to a surface area on here, and then basically we'll screw that in. So we'll pre-drill the holes here, fit it, pre-drill the holes in the hull, place the epoxy on, glue it in. Okay, so once you finish drilling the holes in the footholds, lay them in there. Follow the directions in terms of drilling the hole. 24/7 actually puts a nice little direction here to follow, it's no big deal. But I usually go with a smaller hole on the hull itself after you lay it into there, just as a pilot hole for the screws. So once you fit that in, pre-drill your holes, pull the footholds back out, mix up some 2-part epoxy. I like to use panel fuser from McMaster Car, mixes up real easy, hardens within an hour. Put it in there, put your screws in, and you're good to go. After that, we usually follow up with a fiberglass cloth, maybe somewhere between 6 and 8 ounces would be plenty. Just enough to go around the perimeter, give it some added strength, and seal it off. All right, so once you got all that done, after your fiberglass is set up, everything is hardened, take your existing turf, OEM turf. You can use that as a template. What I like to do though is when you get to the area where the foothold is actually run it down a little bit longer. When you work your way from front to back after you've gotten your glue on, you can actually use a heat gun here, heat it up enough, and you can curve it inside and use usually one piece to mold the entire inside of the foothold. What I like to do is 3 coats of HydroTurf glue on the HydroTurf itself, 2 coats on the ski, and creates a nice bond. I've never had a problem with peeling off. All right, so while we're waiting for our glue to dry, here's a quick opportunity just to cover what supplies you're going to need. First, you're going to want some good contact cement. HydroTurf actually sends this with you with the order, and some brushes. We've got 3 of these, however, we usually blow through a little bit more than that. Like I said, I like to put 2 coats on the machine, 3 coats on the turf. Also going to need a heat gun. Comes in handy when doing the footholds. Makes the HydroTurf a little bit more pliable and easier to manage. And then also a rubber mallet. Help get the air bubbles out and really helps to bond the surfaces together. All right, so we're just putting on our last coat for the under pad. Again, 2 coats on the ski itself, 3 coats on the pad and the HydroTurf itself. Again, we used the heat gun, and we're able to mold this in as one piece, no seams up here in the top. Came out pretty good. So if you don't have a template, you can make a cardboard template. If you have the template from the original turf, that actually works the best. It was a good fit, and we leave a little extra cut on the bottom to be able to mold in to the foothold itself. All right, so we're finished with our foothold install and HydroTurf install. Again, thanks to 24/7 for the 2003 Universal Binding Systems. Thanks to HydroTurf for a great product. Pretty much all set, man. It's not that big a deal. You guys can get through it. If you have any problems, you're welcome to email teamextremejetskiing.com. And as always, stop back and visit. More educational videos to follow.